siblings, 22 meters and 29 meters, told my abuser I, 26F, had his child and now they want my forgiveness. I was in an abusive relationship with this guy, Nick, who I'd known since I was a kid. The relationship ended when Nick injured me and we went to hospital. There, I found out I was pregnant and told the nurse Nick hurt me. A friend, Tom, let me stay with him after that. Nick was always very jealous/possessive, and hated Tom because he thought I might cheat on him with Tom. However, when Nick started talking about the baby tying us together, Tom suggested that, given Nick's certainty I was cheating on him anyway, I tell him that Tom was the father. It worked, and got Nick to leave us alone. Tom is also a friend with my brothers, Jack and John. Tom and I decided to tell Jack and John the truth, including that Nick was severely abusive. They swore they wouldn't tell anyone, and we trusted and believed them, but shortly after, Nick came back. He demanded a DNA test and went through the legal system to get it. We then had to go through custody, which included me having to present proof of the abuse in order to get Nick deemed unfit. I managed it, but only just, and there's still room for Nick to get custody in the future, if he meets a few requirements. Jack and John admitted they told Nick, as he had a right to know, and they felt my previous actions were underhanded. I told them they were idiots and spelled out the consequences of their actions, before telling them both to stay out of mine and my child's lives. It's been about a year since then. Jack and John have apologized more than once, but it's usually with an addendum that they were right, and their only mistake was not warning me, followed by them asking why I haven't forgiven them yet. There was a safe family thing tonight that my child and I were meant to go to, but given that it was just us, my brothers, and parents, I decided not to attend, because I knew my brothers would badger me about it. After tonight, my parents have gotten strict with me. They've said that I need to forgive my brothers. Whatever I have to do or say, just stop missing family stuff over my issues with them, because it's not fair to my brothers to keep them in the doghouse, not fair on my parents for them to be caught in the middle, and not fair to my child to deny them a relationship with their uncles. They say that if I don't make my peace with them, they're done inviting me to things, as they're sick of me either ignoring my brothers the whole time, or bailing from the event altogether if I can't avoid them. Should I be more open to forgiving my brothers? Is there a compromise between playing happy families and avoiding them entirely? Damn, I think you need to prioritize your child in this one, and you need to be clear with your parents. You are not doing anything wrong. None of this is your fault to begin with. Especially because the brothers still insist they were right. If the abusive ex had a right to know the child is his, won't they also feel that he has the right to get updates on the child's life? Hell, maybe down the road they'll even feel like he has the right to see him or pick him up. Your brothers not accepting your boundaries could lead to a very dangerous situation for both you and your child. If your ex was already abusive to you, you don't know what resentment he will hold knowing he is being kept away from his child. If your brothers are willing to give that person a window into your life, it's best to just cut them out altogether. I'd never break my sister's trust like that, valuing more any of their assholes ex. I'm really sorry for that, and I think absolutely in the right since they don't even admit they mistake and value more Nick than you and her child. It's so sick how her brothers had more compassion for her abusive ex than for their own sister. The fact that when Nock told them what happened they didn't immediately beat him up or even confront him, but instead gave him enough information to hurt their own sister. Seriously, the siblings are garbage human beings. Honestly, the only answer is cutting them off completely from your life. Don't tell them anything, don't interact with them, and when it comes to your parents, only see them occasionally. They've make it clear where their loyalty lies, and unfortunately it is not with you. Just take care of yourself and your child. I know it would be hard, but if your brothers are determined that you should forgive them BC they believe your abuser has more rights than you, I truly think the best and safest thing would be to look into a job abroad. New Zealand, especially, BC, their laws consider the well-being and safety of children above the property/parental rights of the abusive parent. I'm 100% not joking. Say nothing to anyone. Look into it, start interviews, or any education that might get you interviews, and maybe even see if you can get get an appointment at the nearest NZ consulate to ask about emigrating, and do all you can to just pick up and go, or even just move across the country. Your parents have made it clear that they support your brothers in this, so wrong. So they are no longer worth considering as family. Just move as far away as you can and try your best to make it to another country to protect yourself and your child from all of them. Have you considered cutting your brothers out of your life forever? I mean, they clearly value your abuser more than they value you. My 24M girlfriend, 22F, drugged me. Since I can't change the title, my 24M girlfriend, 22F, tried to drug me. I'm recovering from a hip replacement surgery due to arthritis. I've been able to do some things after the surgery, but my girlfriend insists that I lie down and she will be of assistance, but lately she has been getting touchy with me. I've told her multiple times that I'm in a lot of pain and that I'm not in a comfortable position right now, but she doesn't want to hear it. I was going to go get a snack when I saw that she was putting something in what was supposed to be my drink. When I confronted her about it, she denied it and told me I was probably just seeing things. She ended up mistakenly dropping whatever she was hiding, and I saw that it was a Viagra pill bottle, which is when she finally confessed that she wanted to have sex and that this was the only way. I lashed out at her, saying that she was crazy and that she had no right to do something like this. She told me that I'm not the only one with needs and that I'm being disrespectful because she takes care of me and I can't show her any love. She then tried to touch down there, to which I pushed her away from me. I asked my mom to come to pick me up and I went to stay overnight at her house, and a friend called me and said that he understands my POV, but everyone needs love every once in a while, so why couldn't I show that love? I don't know why, but for some reason I feel guilty even though I shouldn't. Does anyone have any advice? It will well appreciated. So firstly, Viagra isn't a magical boner pill. It has medical repercussions. It's a vasodilator, which given you had surgery could be very dangerous depending on what was done to you. It could have also been harmless. Ask a doctor before taking anything not prescribed to you, especially while recovering from surgery. That being said, I'd buy a dildo, give it to your GF and tell her to go fuck herself, then break up. I don't take being drugged against my will for any reason as morally compatible with anyone. And frankly, because of the major surgery, there isn't an unreasonable chance that could have really messed you up. TLDR, do you want to be in a relationship where your health is less valued than her being horny for a few weeks? Hey. So my boyfriend tried to drug me to have sex because I had surgery and was in a lot of pain. He says that he has needs that I need to fulfill, and he attempted to have sex with me literally as I was confronting him about drugging me. Repeat this in your head, over and over. Does it sound right? Does it sound acceptable? You had a hip replacement surgery that your girlfriend refuses to empathize with. Asking for sex after a hip replacement, how insane. Then to attempt to drug and rape you. This was vile to read. Dump her, block her, and focus on your recovery. I wish you the best and you should feel safe. Putting prescription drugs in someone's drink is a felony in most countries I know of. Or really, putting anything in someone's drink without their consent. Viagra wasn't the only thing she put in there. I'd be willing to put money on it. Your girlfriend is a rapist. Like most rapists, she's a coward. Should have gone to the police. Get a lawyer, ASAP. You should not feel guilty. Your girlfriend attempted to rape you. You told her you didn't want to have sex and so she tried to force you to. If I were you, I'd dump her immediately. Something like this is unforgivable. She does not have your best interest at heart. Honestly, it's probably unsafe to be having sex days post-op for a hip replacement even if you wanted to. Run, don't walk. I'm not gay, but my new coworker is the most attractive person I've ever seen. Last month I was introduced to my new coworker. He's the most intriguing and attractive person I've ever met, and I'm guessing that what I'm feeling now can be easily identified as gay panic. I'm not gay, I'm pretty surely straight. I've had multiple girlfriends in the past and I've never looked at another man in the same way I looked at them. Hence my utter confusion. I'm also getting misleading signals from him about his own sexuality, and I'm having a hard time interpreting his actions and comments. First, I don't even know his age. He might be around 30, no more than 3 years older than me. He's very elegant and distinguished, and precise in his work. He always comments on how great of a team we are, and how he's glad we met. He never really talks about his family or friends, or even hobbies, except cooking. Which brings me to my last point. He invited me for dinner in his house. I'm not sure if I'm the only one invited, but at this point I'm too afraid to ask. You know, there's a big gray area between gay and straight, right? Bisexual/pansexual people exist along with people who just occasionally are attracted to specific people of the opposite sex but are otherwise usually straight. Nothing wrong with any of it. A sexuality distinction is a label for who you feel like you're sexually attracted to, not a place you choose to live that can't ever be altered and where you can't ever discover more about yourself. There's no reason to be afraid. He's not going to flip if you ask him simple questions about what the plan for the evening is to get a better idea of what you're walking into. As someone who accidentally ended up on a date once because I misinterpreted the invite, I can tell you it's better to ask now than to show up thinking it's a group event and have it just be you two. Great advice. Just hopping on to suggest that perhaps you ask, so, how many people are coming for dinner? Just want to know if I should bring one bottle of wine or two, or something else entirely. This way you appear to be a gracious guest while figuring out the deets. There are different kinds of attraction and it may help to identify what you're feeling. Aesthetic attraction, you find them pleasing to look at or are attracted to the way that he presents himself. Sensual attraction to sensory cues involving him pertaining to any of the 5 senses. Enjoying his look, smell, touch, voice, etc. Sexual attraction, that pull that says yeah I'd FCK. As a bisexual, I can say this feeling is often different between men and women, so it's hard to identify at first. Platonic attraction, a pull to be close to someone in a friendly manner. You want to be close to someone but not quite close enough for romantic/sexual intimacy. Romantic attraction, similar to platonic but add that want to be more emotionally involved. This can sometimes conflict with physical attraction, like how someone might be willing to FCK but the idea of being with them in an emotionally committed relationship does not jive. To figure this one out is going to require some introspection on your part. Ignore labels and just follow your gut. It may take time but you can probably work out the source of the feeling on your own. I wish you luck, my friend. I mean, you don't have to be gay to find someone of the same sex attractive. I suppose it comes down to what's going through your mind whilst you're thinking about him. Some people are just ridiculously good looking. So true. I'm mostly straight but still identify as bi because there are times where I'm just so captivated by how today I fucked up women are. I've slept with a few women but it never felt quite as exciting as sex with a man. I'd still do it again. I've noticed I'm most attracted to women that look similar to me and have the same style. I know that sounds weird AF. Sexuality is weird. Do a bottle test. Say you'd like to bring some wine, ask if the meal will pair better with red or white, and ask how many people you should plan to pour for. Sexuality and attraction are a spectrum, not black and white. There's a post above that's very well written, so I won't bother. Argue very few of us are truly one thing or another, we're all just kind of existing and finding what and who makes us happy. If you're not sure, and it turns out he's interested, be honest.